We'll be talking about integers today in Java. So an integer is a whole number that can be either positive or negative, and it has no decimal points. So in Java, there's a few different ways to create one. So we'll start by using the keyword int, right? And then we'll follow with the name that we want to assign this variable. So I'll use number right now. So we've now just created our first integer here, but it's not anything. This is nothing right now. So we need to give this some value. So I will say this is 10 now. So I've made an integer called number, and then I've set number equal to 10. So that's fine, but we don't really need to do this in 2 lines all the time. There's a better way to do this. We can do the same thing by just doing this. Int number equals 10. Same thing, we're making our integer called number, and we're setting it equal to 10. All right? So that's cool. We now have this integer, which can be used anywhere within our code, but that's not all it can do. So we can increase this number by doing some addition. So if we want to add 1 to this number, or add any number, we do number equals number plus 1, right? Now, there's a more concise way to write this, is just number plus equal 1, or even more concise is number plus plus, right? But this is only good if you are adding 1. This will increase the number by 1 if you do this, but if you wanted to add 10, say, right, this would not work. It's only for 1. So this is for addition, and we can do the same thing with subtraction here. So we can do number equals number minus 5. Same thing, written. This is just written differently. You don't have to do this both times. This is just the same thing written 2 different ways right here. So number equals number minus 5. And if you want to add, or if you want to subtract 1, remember you can do number minus minus, but this is only for 1. This will not subtract 5. All right, so that's addition and subtraction. Now we can do multiplication and division. So we can do number equals number times 5, right? So that would give you 50. Same way you can rewrite it, times equal 5. There you go. So these are the same things, just written smaller. And now division is a little bit different. Not different in terms of how we write it, but different in terms of logic. So here, for example, we have number, and if we can do the same thing, we can do number equals number divided by 2, right? And this would be 5. This is fine, because this answer would result in a whole number, 5, right? But with division, it is possible for us to end up with a fraction, which would be a problem because we know that integers can only store whole numbers. So how do we deal with that? How does Java deal with that? So if we have a number set to 3, and we divide it by 2, right? This would result in 1.5. In Java, they do something called truncating, which takes off any decimals. It always rounds down, it never rounds up. No matter the decimal, it doesn't even check that, it just cuts it off. So for example, this answer would be 1.5, right? So we know it would just cut that off. But if you had 1.99, however many nines, it doesn't matter. No matter how close it is to being rounded up, right? It will always cut off and round down to 1. So that's just something that's important for you to remember when doing division. So I'll just show this to you by printing it out. We have a number being printed to the console right here. So 3 divided by 2 should yield 1. Let's see. Yep, right there, 1, not 1.5. So those are some of the important ways to manipulate integers in Java. There's a lot more to do, but that's just some basic math involved with integers and how to declare and initialize an integer.